Thank you very much for standing by there, Trent. I do have Tori on the line for you, and if you need operator assistance, it is star zero.
No problem.
Hello, Trent. How are you?
Hello, Tori. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you.
Whereabouts are you in the world? Are you back at Cornwall?
No, we're in New York City right now, doing promo this week here.
Fabulous. I don't know if you remember me, Tori. We've met several times when you've been in Australia. I was the guy that put together that petition to try and get you back to Australia, which you saw.
Oh my God!
Do you remember?
I remember you.
Yes.
Of course. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's a thrill to speak to you again, and thankfully you did see the petition and came back. And you're coming back again.
Yes, it's very exciting this time.
I was getting
very
worried.
Exciting.
I thought I might have to do another petition because it's been 5 years. I was getting worried.
No.
But you're spoiling
we're very
us.
excited to come.
Well, you're spoiling.
Well, I think it's going to be fun this time. Really fun.
Well, I'm so excited about a very special show in Sydney with the Sydney Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, me too. Right? They invited me to come, and I'm still buzzing from the whole invite.
Wow!
It means I'm going to have to practice.
Oh my goodness!
Practice like a crazy woman, but I will.
What a thrill! How will it feel for you playing in the Opera House next to those 42 musical professionals by your side in Australia, in the Opera House?
Well, you kind of don't you feel sort of like this might sound crazy, but a bit like I don't know, Freya coming in as with the Valkyries,
yes.
Flying in on wild creatures, and our instruments are breathing fire, and there we are, all of us flying in together.
What a treat!
Music warriors, right?
Amazing. And then the rest of the country, it'll be you and the piano, similar to what the tour has been around the world so far. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be the tour that's happening now, the Unrepentant Geraldines tour,
which I've been watching closely, and I think it's some of the best set lists from you I've ever seen.
Well, you know what? It's been really liberating and freeing because I haven't done a show like this in a while, and so therefore, when you do structured shows, there's something really exciting about it because working with an orchestra, you have a set list, you stick to the set list and you rehearse.
Yeah.
And to play with all those people is a real kind of, it's a conversation, but that has to be in harmony and rhythm and together. So it's, I don't know, over 40 people having to completely work together and harmonize together.
Yeah.
And so, in a way, it's a beehive. You must work together to make the honey.
Whereas and you're the beekeeper.
When you're I'm one of the bees, I think, with the orchestra.
Right.
But when you're on your own, you're more like the beekeeper because you're asking the songs to come to you. And they're coming to you, but you're there on your own. However, you can change the set really quickly. You can change it every night.
Yeah, and what fascinates me is particularly during the Lizard Lounge and the covers that you're choosing. My particular favorite, personally, was Because the Night was outstanding. And Madonna's Frozen, and in Russia, when you covered Tattoo's Not Gonna Get Us, that spoke volumes of what you and everyone in that audience had on their minds that night. Is it a similar process? Is that a similar process with the covers? Do they come to you as well there and there, or are they a little bit more thought out beforehand? And how do you choose them?
No, so my repertoire, I'm just I'm continuing to build it right now here in New York. Even now, I'm building the back catalog.
Right.
And there are a lot of songs there. I'd like to think I've built a lot of it up by the time I get to Australia, but there's a lot to build with so many albums. So I'm trying to build them now so that I can add a couple in every night and then use the sound check time to build the covers that you get requested at the stage door.
Yes.
You see, so I'm trying to buy time here in order, so I'm building this week my repertoire. And you can't just drop it all in the first night because I won't have enough time at sound check to completely put in 10 new songs every night unless they're rehearsed. Do you see?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm rehearsing right now and rearranging. And with the covers operate, usually you get requests at a show or the day before a show and somebody's coming to both.
Yes.
You see? So you don't have a lot of time to bring that cover up.
Yeah.
You have a sound check.
Yep, understood. So I truly adore the new album.
Thank you.
And congratulations on its success. And critics and reviewers have been saying, I keep reading, it's a return to form. Is that a compliment to you, or is that a bit of a backhanded slap, them branding maybe the other recent albums not to form? I kind of don't understand that myself.
Trent, you can't. I don't really. Whatever the terminology is, I get what they're trying to say. They're trying to say it's not a Deutsche Grammophon record.
Yes, right.
Or it isn't variations on a theme, or it's. So that's what I think they're trying to say.
Yeah, I think so
That's
too.
what I hope they're trying to say. That's what I hope they're trying to say.
I'm sure they are.
They've been people have been open to the record, and possibly because I haven't done a contemporary record like this in 5 years.
Yeah, and I love the honesty that's coming through about, and again, it keeps getting written. You're now 50. They've always put a number after your name now, which is, I think, quite a little bit frustrating and insulting. But I'm glad that you're wearing that and you're proud of that. And but the music is definitely your whole career has been such an evolution. I think that I see your career as two different eras, noticeably sort of a pre-Scarlet's Walk and a post-Scarlet's Walk. In reflection, do you see that?
That's interesting. No, I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Yeah, I do see that.
And is that
what I say
was that conscious?
No, it just happened. It just happened. But the way I'm looking at 50 is 50 on fire.
I love that.
It's what you make of it once you're there, but getting there can be very much a walk on hot coals. And that's because you don't even recognize Trent when it's happening. But you can get into a sense of an acceptance that isn't the right kind of an acceptance. So before that, usually, in your 20s and 30s, you're striving. And because you're not necessarily secure and hold that status yet of being, of having been around 20 years, whatever you want to call that. I can't use certain words because I don't think it's my place to use them. But, words like iconic, that isn't a word I use. One should never use that for themselves. But I'd say once you've carved out your space and you're part of the music, what do you call it, pantheon, and you have your own style and you can tour, and you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Sometimes you can get comfortable in that.
Right.
And yet what's really happening, and this is true, while you might be comfortable with that in your 40s, as 50 comes up, you begin to realize that fewer and fewer women are getting I've called them frontline recording contracts once you hit 50 and up.
Well, you know what?
As a singer-songwriter.
Right?
As a singer-songwriter.
Yes. My professional life is actually I'm the senior national promotions manager for EMI Music in Australia, and EMI is now owned by Universal Music. But what you've just said, I completely see every day. Like, you're one of the few that, and I don't think in my lifetime and I don't see it now, you know, will someone ever be signed post, 30 now? Like, it's really a little bit sad.
Well, it's difficult. I mean, if you have a career, it's difficult, I'd say, to be maintaining through your 50s and 60s. What I'm saying to you is not on the festival circuit, not on I'm talking about not the touring life. I'm talking about having new releases that the label is going to promote and kill for, no different than a new release from a 20-something.
Yeah.
Now, yes, you do have that if you're Bruce Springsteen, if you're Tom Petty, we can go on and on and on. And they should have that because they're great. They should. But what I'm saying to you is the female reflection of those guys, you know, the Ricky Lee Joneses of the world who are amazing, they're not being given the same contracts, okay? They're just not. It's not fair.
Yeah,
it's a very type life. So what the guys told me at Universal was, look, it's supply and demand. So change the demand, Tori, for yourself. And I just I thought that was interesting, because they did give me a frontline contract after Night of Hunters.
Yep.
And but I didn't have one before that. Do you see? Meaning I was given an opportunity to go to Deutsche Grammophon, but I didn't have a pop contract.
Yep.
So if you kind of see what's going on, I had to go to another genre in order to kind of prove myself and get people to invest in it.
Yep.
The idea, right?
Yeah.
So, therefore, I had an opportunity, and it was my daughter who said to me, "You can't be great for 50, Mom. You can't, or it's going to fall. It's going to fail. You have to just go be fucking great, and you have to tour by yourself. You have to do it alone at the piano, not the record, because that's not what she was saying to me. She said, but you have to go out there alone and prove to yourself that you still have the power that you had 20 years ago." And she just said to me, look, when you're grandma's age, when you're 84, there's no way you're going to be able to ride the piano side saddle in 6-inch heels without us worried you're going to, fall over and break all your bones.
Yes.
So I said, fair enough. That's a fair comment. She said, there's a time for you to do this and prove this to yourself. And then when you're 84, maybe you're still touring. She said, I'd like to think, Mom, you are. And yet, if you need to go get some oxygen on the side of the stage, who cares? Have some backup singers and some musicians. And that's fine.
Well, I'll be there.
Now,
I'll be there in the audience.
Yeah. And you know what? I might have them
we have 2 minutes
but
remaining.
Thank you. She was trying to make a point to me. She was trying to say the record industry contracts, the offers, make it look like women over 50 are 84 compared to the men. You're not. so don't accept it, but bring it.
Great advice.
Prove something to yourself. Yeah, it was good advice. And to be fair, and I'm talking your ear off, but clock speaking. Universal gave me an opportunity and brought me the contract and said, "We believe in you. Go do it."
Thank God they did.
So thank God they did. But Trent, I believe that, all of us women that are in this position, we have something to prove to ourselves, because there's so many great women out there that have such great stories and things to say.
Absolutely agree, and don't ever stop telling those stories. And I hope you are on that piano at 84, because I'll be 54 and I'll be there. And I just have to ask one question: is, to date, what's your fondest memory of being in Australia?
Tash wanted to be an elephant, and she couldn't be, because she fell in love with a mommy and baby elephant. She wanted to be a baby elephant. And once she realized she couldn't be a baby elephant, she cried and cried and cried and said, "I'm just a girl, not a baby elephant from Australia."
And obviously Tash and Mark are coming down with you?
Mark's definitely coming down with me, and Tash is coming out on the American tour.
Oh, okay, right.
She'll be in school. She'll be in school in November.
Well, Tori, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for the time, and
Thank you, Trent. And come see me.
You'll see me. You'll see me. We'll see you in November, and thank you for coming back.
And you're the best. I'll see you soon, babe.
Take care. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.